Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello. How are you guys doing tonight, or today, or whenever you're watching this? I am really congested tonight. I don't know if it's my allergies. I think it is my allergies. Boo Radley has been doing that reverse sneezing all day today. And my eyes have been watery all day today. It's been rainy in Indianapolis. And when I woke up this morning, it was nice outside. I actually went outside, took my meditation books on the back patio, and I looked up and I was like, it's really pretty. And I started reading my meditation books, and I got halfway through them and it started to rain, or almost halfway through them, and it started to rain. So I moved out to the front porch. I'm kind of over all the rain in Indianapolis. Sure, it seems like, I don't know, we just haven't had tons of nice weather this summer. So, let's see, my day. I got up today, did my meditations and all of that, and I skipped, well, I didn't skip it purposely, I totally spaced it, doing my magic book today, which I don't know what to do, because it says that if you miss a day, go back 3 days, which 3 days would be start over. So I don't know if I should start over tomorrow or what I should do. I can't believe I forgot to do it today. I was so just on track of getting everything done. I was so focused today. I got a lot of things done that I wanted to get done, and the book was literally sitting in front of me, right in front of my computer the entire day. And I just kept on looking at it, and I was like, I need to do that. And you're supposed to do it first thing in the morning, your gratitude list. And I do a gratitude list, in my head, but I had completely forgotten to just sit down and do it. And I just, anyway, and today's, you were supposed to read ahead anyway last night, because you had to get pictures for today's thing, and I didn't do it because I was well, I already remember the exercise and I know where I'm gonna get pictures, so I don't need to do this tonight. I'll just get them tomorrow morning. So I don't know, I guess I'll just go back. Since it says to go back and start over, I guess I'll go back and start over. But I did do the magic rock and everything last night, before I went to sleep. Can't believe anyway, it doesn't matter. It'll just give me a longer time to practice gratitude, right? That's the positive out of it. So I went and got coffee, and I was around the house for a long time today, just getting stuff done around the house. And then I went and got coffee, and I talked to my sponsor for an hour on the phone. It was really nice. We had a good conversation. It was kind of sad. Well, I'll tell you some things that because the sad part came at the very end of the conversation. We were just talking about some people that we knew, and I was asking her how she knew somebody, and she was telling me through who, and she mentioned somebody, and I was I said, what does that person look like? And she said, she was talking about somebody that had passed away, and I said, well, how old are they? And she said how old they were. And this is somebody that I used to know really, really well when they first got sober. And, would see off and on through the years at meetings, and, was close with. And so anyway, I was this can't be the same person. And I said something to her. I said, the age is right. And she goes, well, let me see if I can find a picture. And he had passed away last winter. So this was not something new that had happened. And I, for some reason, always find out about people way after the fact. And she was well, when was the last time that you saw him? And I said, it was when you and Tanya and I went to this dinner thing, this gratitude dinner thing. And I said he was serving there, and he was working there. It was service work or something like that. And she was like, well, when was that? And I go, when was it? I said, do you remember when we went? We both were like laughing, and I was like, no. And she was like, and she goes, well, do you remember anything that he said to you at the time? Because we're trying to figure out if it was the same person, because the name was kind of like real common. And I said, yeah, he was real excited because he had just had a baby, and you know, blah, blah, blah. And she was like, how old was the baby? And I said, it was real young. And like his girlfriend had just like had it. And she's like, yeah, Peter, I think it's the same person. And so she sent me a picture, and I just was devastated. I just was like, I mean, I had known him since he was like 18, and he was like in his 30s. And I remembered him like coming in to meetings and stuff, and I was just like, I can't believe it. I just can't. I mean, literally on the heels of just talking last night about how addiction like takes some really, really great people. Like, he was a really great person. I just really can't believe it. It's just like, I constantly am finding out about people that are gone, you know, like, people wonder why, like, I take this stuff so seriously, and like why it's not like joking matters to me, like in my like drama channel videos. Like, when people are like joking about like drugs, it's just not, it's not a joke. It's not a joke when you live my life. And you know, it's like, you constantly find out about people that have passed, you know? It's just, it's not a joke. It's just not. I just can't believe he's gone. Like, it's just crazy to me. And the gratitude dinner, I think we figured out, was in November, so like I would have seen him the last time, like around Thanksgiving. I think it's around Thanksgiving time. I don't know, but he was so happy, you know, and I was like, anyway. I think also to like find out so much later, like, that it's hard. And like, I knew him from a different side of town, of places that, like, meetings that I went to, than where I typically go now. Because I had like changed up where I went for a long time. And he was like consistently going over to like that side of town now and stuff like that. So I wouldn't have heard about it. You know what I mean? Because usually, like, when somebody passes away or whatever, they'll announce it. Like, if somebody knows, somebody will announce it, you know? Or you just hear about it through the grapevine or through Facebook and whatever. And like, I'm never on Facebook, so I wouldn't have seen that he had passed, you know? And I'm friends with him and all that kind of stuff, but I just can't believe it. I just, like, it almost doesn't even feel real to me. I can just like see him standing there, like, talking to me about his baby and how excited he was. And my sponsor is somebody that she does like tons and tons of service work, and she's always working with newcomers. And I mean, I honestly don't know how she does it. She sees like so much like devastation, and but, you know, it was kind of nice because she knew him really well. It was kind of nice talking to her. I didn't even know that she knew him, you know, until we were talking about it today. And, I don't know. It was a different kind of conversation than I've had with previous sponsors. It was nice, you know. But we talked about some other stuff as well, and I'm like, in my head, I'm like, I feel like I need to reach out to his family and his girlfriend, and I just can't even believe I didn't know. Anyway, she and I were talking about some other stuff, and I had told her, I said, you know, like, I've noticed the last week or so, you know, I've talked about this on my Peterisms channel, that, like, people assume, I think, often that I, like, wake up and I'm just, like, in a really, really great mood, like, right when I wake up. Oh, did I not say this already? I know you guys get a kick out of this when I say this. This is not going to be a super long vlog tonight. I needed a little humor there for a moment. Because I have exactly an hour and a half left of Wayward, which is the second book in the Pine series, and I have to finish it tonight because I was supposed to finish it last night so I could start Zodiac today, so that I could get Zodiac done in time for Reading Rush on Sunday, because I don't want anything lingering. Like, I don't want 2 hours left over. I don't want any of that going into Reading Rush, and I've done that years before, and it just frustrates me because I'm like, oh, I have to stop these books to go into Reading Rush. I want to go into Reading Rush with a clean slate, and I'm so excited about it this year. I don't know what it is this year. It's like my first year I was really excited about it. So Reading Rush is a readathon, if you haven't been watching my vlogs. I'll tell you about what my sponsor was saying in a second, because it was really great advice that she had gotten actually from somewhere else. You know, like 12-step programs, it's not like a bunch of genius wise people. It's like really just experiences that we've had ourselves or heard from other people, that we just pass on information that we've learned from other people. It's just really not that deep. And she was telling me about something that somebody else out there might be helped by, so I'll tell you guys. But anyway, yeah, like the first year that I did the Reading Rush, I was really, really excited to do it, but I didn't know what it was. And I've told this story on here enough, so I'm not going to tell it again, but like I'll just briefly tell it. The first year that I did Reading Rush, I was kind of like, well, it was Booktubeathon that year. I was kind of like, we had gone out to dinner the night of, and it was like Alex and I think Melissa and Jason were going downtown. They had something that they were going to, and I was going home, and Alex was being so supportive, and he was like, we were at like dinner, and, you know, and he knew I was like, they were going to leave and go downtown to this thing, and I was going to go home and just like sit on the front porch and read, and I had gotten like all these special coffees ready and treats and things, and he was like, well, babe, tell them about it. Tell them about Booktubeathon, and I like didn't want to. Like, I had this moment where I was just like, I felt again like I had my entire life, like that kid on the outside that doesn't fit into anything, like, and I'm just not right. I don't know, I've been real emotional today, and it's not just about my friend, it's just, I don't know, like, I just have days that I'm just real emotional, but like, and I don't feel today at 47 like I need to, you know, make excuses or explain that. It's just who I am, and I'm just real emotional today. I don't know why. That was a lot of what I was talking to my sponsor about, but that first year I just felt corny. I just felt like, this is so stupid. Like, all my friends were going downtown and going to this thing, and here I am going home to do the Booktubeathon and like sit on my front porch and read these books. Like, what is my life, you know? And I just felt like I was on the outside looking in. Like, I have felt my entire life. I have always felt like, I mean, I still feel like that at 47 years old. People think that I have 400 friends or that I'm real involved in I don't. I just don't. Like, that's not my reality, you know? I'm happy with the friends that I have, don't get me wrong, you know? Like, I feel like I'm very content. I have an amazing life. But in any kind of social situation to this day, I still always feel on the outside looking in. Like, why? Like, why do I always have that, you know? Like, I hate that. Even when it's, like, my closest friend sitting there. I hate it. Like, it's, like, this thing I can't get rid of, you know? You know, I can be really forgiving of my bullies of growing up. And I can be, like, understand that they were going through pain as well when they were going through pain. and stuff, you know, like, I get that, right? Like, I can understand what they were going through, but, like, they really screwed me up, like, for life. Like, to this day, like, I'll be out to lunch with a friend of mine, and, like, in my head, I'm thinking, like, why, like, not like Tanya, of course, you know, like, I mean, but it took a long time for me to trust Tanya, and not like Melissa or somebody, but, you know, a lot of my friends, like, I sit there and I question, you know, like, they probably just are bored, or why are they here, or, you know, like, it just, and yet at the same time, like, I hate this idea of being a victim, so I, like, resist against it, you know, like, I'm real resistant against that. I don't know why this direction of this vlog is going this direction, but anyway, so that first year for Booktubeathon, you know, Alex was so supportive, and he knows I struggle with that, and he's just really helpful with it, and I'm, like, going through all my lip balms tonight, and he was like, babe, just tell him. He was like, you know, tell him what you're doing. So I did finally, and I told him, you know, like, oh, it's this 7-day reading challenge. You know, part of the problem is none of my friends read except for Tanya, and so they don't really get it. And who was I talking to? I was talking to somebody that said that they love to read. Who was that the other day? They're like, oh, I love to read. Oh, it was my sponsor today. I was telling her about Reading Rush. And she was like, I love to read. She's like, what do you like to read? She and I read completely different things, though. I mean, I read self-help, but I think she's, like, exclusively reads a lot of, like, you know, all of those constant books about building yourself and things like that. So anyway, so I was talking to Melissa and Jason, and I was telling them about, you know, what Booktubeathon was, and they were so, I mean, they're always so sweet with me, you know. And Melissa was like, oh my gosh, she was like, that sounds so cool, are you so excited? And I was like, like, I felt stupid. That's how I felt. Like, you're 40, at the time I was 44, you're 44 years old, and you're going home while your friends go out downtown, like, what is your life become, right? So I got home, and I, like, got all my books together, and I was on the front porch, and so, like, the first thing I do for Booktubeathon is I, like, just program all my books into Goodreads, you know? Like, that's, like, the first thing I do when it starts at midnight, because it starts at midnight on, like, Sunday going into Monday. And then, like, right away, there's, like, Twitter sprints and stuff, because they start wherever it turns, like, midnight, wherever in the world. So there's, like, Twitter sprints that have started and stuff. And so a Twitter sprint is, like, where it'll say, okay, for the next 20 minutes, like, everybody read as much as you can, and then come back and tell us how many pages you read. And so then you come back, and then you, like, hashtag the readathon or at the readathon, and then you put, like, I finished 22 pages or something like that, right? Or 29 pages or 38 or whatever. And so I sat there for a second, and I literally, like, in that moment, thought that I was just gonna quit and I wasn't gonna do it. I was like, this is so stupid. Why am I doing this? And I don't know, it started, and I started doing it, and I had so much fun, and I was like, forget it. Like, it doesn't really matter if I fit in. Like, this idea I struggle with of being weird and being different and just accepting who I am and loving who I am. Like, in that moment that I, like, fully grasp that this is who I am, this is who I love, I'm weird, I'm different, and I'm never like anybody else. When I'm in that moment of acceptance is when I feel truly confident. But when I'm comparing myself to other people, you know, like I was talking about this in my Peterisms video today, when I'm comparing my journey to somebody else's, or what somebody else has, or what somebody else is doing, like, I always lose by comparison, right? Like, I always don't feel good enough. I don't feel cool enough. And that's when it happens, is when I'm comparing myself to somebody else. When I'm in myself and I'm accepting of who I am and what I enjoy, and it doesn't really matter what other people like, and if I want to listen to this kind of music or read these kind of books or do this or do that or whatever, like, that's fine. Like, that's who I am. That's different. That makes me, you know, individually who I am. Like, in those moments, I have a lot of confidence. But, like, I have to work at that. Like, that's constant work for me, right? I don't think people have really any idea, like, truly how bad I battle social anxiety. Like, truly, truly battle social anxiety. Like, if you saw me in public, you would either see, like inside I'd be shaking, but I'd be like, hi, how are you? How are you doing? It's like when people ask me, like, oh, you should do a meet and greet, or you should do this. Like, that's terrifying to me. Like, I don't even know, like, I don't know, like, what I would say. You know what I mean? Or it's like, and, like, if I meet you in public, by and large, I will say something really awkward because I get caught off guard and I don't know what to say. Like, that always happens to me, you know? And, I don't know. I hate it. I hate that I have to deal with that, but... So that was the first year that I did BookTubeathon, and then I was kind of over it at that point. Then I did, you know, a couple other readathons poorly. I did the Diversathon, and I did Spookathon, and the Spookathon is during Halloween. The Diversathon was where you read, I don't know, like I just did not do well on the readathons that I did for the rest of the year. And then I loved BookTubeathon so much that I was excited because that winter, they usually do like a biannual BookTubeathon, and at holiday time they do like a shorter one. Well, they didn't do it that year. And so then last year when it came up, because it's always at the end of July, I was super excited about it. But like the first year, I was like, I have to have like the perfect TBR, to be read pile. That means the books you're gonna read for it. And like I went through and I very specifically picked like every book that I read. Like, I mean, there's challenges anyway. So like read a book with purple on the cover, do this, do that. I talked about that last night. So the first year, I wanted every book that because one of the challenges was read a book to movie, or read a book and watch the movie adaptation. So it had to be a book to movie adaptation. And so I was like, you know what, I'm gonna have like a really cool TBR, and I'm gonna go in and I'm going to every book that I read is gonna have a movie adaptation. I actually did pretty good the first year. Like, I didn't do horrible. And I did finish some of the books because I read, I think one of them was like read a novella, and I read Annie Proulx's Brokeback Mountain because my mother had given me that book, which was beautifully written, beautifully written. And I read A Single Man by Chris Isherwood, which was such a great movie. And I read Jaws by Peter Benchley. That was fantastic. That is such a great book to read in the summer. If you've never read it, you should read it. Jaws by Peter Benchley is fantastic. This road has been closed for so long. I'm going to see if I can get through here. I'm driving into Zionsville. So anyway, and then The Duff, which I didn't read. And what was the one that was like Fault in Our Stars but horrible? It's a yellow, because that was the book that was like you had to have yellow on the cover. I remember that. Meet Earl and the Dying Girl. That was fun. I don't know how I remember all these books. I don't know how. I think it's Havana's son who always leaves the most hilarious comments on my vlog. How you remembered that I read Jennifer Smith's Windfall. So thank you for saying Windfall, because I saw that tonight. I was like, Windfall, that's what that book was called. That book could have been so great. It can't get through here. This is crazy that it is still closed off. That book could have been so good. It made me so sad that it wasn't good. But anyway. So that was last year. But last year, like, we were in Connecticut. Somebody reminded me of this on the vlog, and I had forgotten. We were in Connecticut. That was such a fantastic trip. Like, I would love to go back to that little town or some town like that. If you guys know a great little small town to stay in a bed and breakfast, would you let me know? I would love to just, Alex and I, pick a town that we've never been to before and just go for the weekend like we did. That was so much fun. Like, that was really, really a fun weekend. It was so relaxing. Was at the end, I didn't realize it. Yeah, that was so relaxing. I love that little place that we stayed. But I think we came back Monday or Tuesday. I don't remember which day we came back, but I think like that was the Sunday that BookTubeathon started. And I only had like 1 or 2 of my books with me, so I couldn't start it. Somebody said that to me on the vlog. They said, you started BookTubeathon last year when you were in Connecticut. So I must have, I don't know. But I remember sitting out there and reading in that little garden area, and I remember sitting out there making videos. I did like a Peterisms video, and I vlogged out there and stuff. It was so pretty out there, it was so nice. You know, it's funny because like that trip, like going into it, because it was a work trip for Alex, and he was like on this convention, and I remember like he was like, do you want to go? And I was like, to this small town in Connecticut? And he was like, yeah, he was like, just for the weekend, whatever, to get away. It was like 4 days or 3 days or something. And I was like, I mean, yeah, sure, I guess, you know? And so I went, and then can remember going and thinking, like, this isn't gonna be that great, and then getting there, and, you know, I remember just, like, I don't know, it's funny, like, in retrospect, like, that was such a great trip. Like, it was just so easy and so much fun. We went to the casino, we went out to eat, and we had such a great time on that trip, and it was just easy, and he loved that little convention. I told him, I said, you just see if you can go back and do that again. And he really enjoyed it, and he met some great people, and he learned a lot of great things, too. It was a lot about social media marketing, and he really learned a lot on that trip and really enjoyed it. I gotta turn the air up a little bit, it's cold. And, so we're thinking about maybe, like, seeing if you can go back and do that again. But that was really a fun trip. And, I mean, I remember every day going to get my little Starbucks. Do you remember that? And I had to drive up and down the street to upload my videos because the Wi-Fi was so bad. I didn't even know at the time how enjoyable it was. It was kind of like Booktubeathon, you know? Like, at the time, you don't really know how enjoyable something is that you're doing. And, so, yeah. So then last year, I don't even remember what other books I read. Is that not crazy? Like, I should go back and look at my TBR from last year. I know I did horrible on Booktubeathon. I know I was like 4 days in and I hadn't really read anything, I think. Like, and I just really didn't participate in it last year at all. And something about it this year I'm really excited about. I have Mel doing it. Mel is doing it this year. This is her first Booktubeathon. I'm so excited. She actually has a fantastic TBR. Well, when I talked to her the other day, she had like 5 out of her 7 books picked. And, because I was like, you and I should read something together. Like, one of our books should be something that we're reading together so we can do like a buddy reads. So if you're doing Reading Rush and you want to read a book with me, pick one of my books that I've already picked. I already changed one book. I can't go back in and change more. But if you want to read a book with me, read a book with me. And, like, you know, we can talk about it on Twitter or whatever. It's called the Buddy Reads. So Mel and I are thinking about, I don't know if she's finalized her TBR or not, but she had some good books listed. And what did she... I'm gonna pull in here and see. I was texting her the other day when she was at work, and I was like, what did you pick for your TBR? What did she say? Okay. I'm sorry, but I'm ruining it for you. Okay, she said Dry by Augustin Burroughs, which is like one of my all-time favorite addiction memoirs. It's fantastic. It's Alex's favorite book of life, too. Alex used to read a lot of these memoirs and tell-alls and stuff like that. That's purple on the cover. Book in the same spot, the next White Trash Zombie book, which is so weird because I was going to do that too. Author's debut, Sharp Objects by Gillian Flynn, which I was going to read for mine, but I'm not going to. Non-human main character, Art of Racing in the Rain. Oh my God, such a great book. I mean, to tell you, probably one of the top 5 best books I've ever read in my entire life. And book to movie adaptation, Prince of Tides, and that's by Pat Conroy. Who, if you have never, I've never read the books. She's reading like the whole series. But if you have never seen Prince of Tides, I mean, that is a movie. Like, that is a movie you have to see before you die. It is a fantastic movie. I almost kind of think it's a movie, like, I saw it when I was younger. I almost kind of think it's a movie you'd appreciate more as you get older. Like, you probably, I mean, you could watch it when you were 20, but, like, I think it would have more of, I haven't seen it since I was probably in my 20s, but I think it would have more of an effect on me today. But I will tell you, it has some very, like, trigger warning stuff. It gets real deep. So anyway, well, I guess I could change my book to movie adaptation back to Sharp Objects, and then she and I could read that together. We'll have to see. I picked The Island by Peter Benchley because I had such a fun time reading Jaws. Jaws is such a great book. But that was, okay, so last year, I don't even remember what I watched or what I read last year for Booktubeathon. I really have no clue. But this year, I got so excited about it. And I was like I had all these, I had it written down on Post-it notes, like what I was going to read. And I was like, I really thought through, like, each thing. And the thing is like, my aunt, like, it's not, like, super deep. Like, oh, I wanted to do like a theme like I did the first year, but I just couldn't think of how I wanted to do it. So I was like, just pick books that you'll be excited to read. Like, that was my thing. Because if I sit down and I don't have books that I'm excited to read, I'm not going to want to read. Like, that's just the period, end of story. Like, that's how it goes, right? So I wanted to pick books that I was excited to read. I was going to do like the entire thing on Audible except for one book. There's a lot of people doing audiobooks this year, but then I would have had to have listened to like one audiobook a day. And the thing is, I really enjoy sitting down and reading a physical book, so I didn't want to, like, I mean, I probably could listen to an entire audiobook a day. I don't know why I don't get more done on Audible than I used to. But, I listen to music a lot these days when I dance in my car. So last year I wasn't that excited about BookTubeathon, and this year it's called Reading Rush. They changed it, and I'm really, really, really excited. Like, each day I'm like, oh my God, we've got 3 more days, or Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then, you know, it's Reading Rush. Like, I'm so excited about it. I don't know why this year. I don't know, but I am, and that's a good thing, you know? So that'll be all next week. If you're participating in it, put it in the comment section below and let me know. Yeah. So, I was talking to my sponsor today, and I was telling her that for like the last week, okay, this is what I was going to say originally, that I started like crying and talking about my sadly life. That I don't, and that's what I said to her today. I said, okay, I said, I don't know what is going on with me. And she's like, what do you mean? And I said, I have an amazing life. I said, I have a husband that I love. I said, you know, of course our marriage could be better, but it's great. And she's like laughing. She's like, well, who's couldn't? And, you know, and I said, you know, I love my house. Of course, it could be a nicer house, but I love my house, you know? And she was like, who's couldn't? And I said, I have the friends I need to have in my life. I feel very blessed to have friends. I have a wonderful family. You know, I said, I get to do things in my life that I love to do, like write and do YouTube. I said, I've met some amazing people. I said, you know, I feel very content in my life. Like, I'm extremely happy on a daily basis, like looking at the things that I have in my life and where I'm at. I'm content, right? But like, I truly think I have this like miswired thing in my head, and she agreed with me, where it's like, as an addict alcoholic, I look at the glass as half empty, and I'm like, yes, but, yes, but, yes, but, right? And she called it, she said it was, she goes, it's the allergy of the deceptive mind, or something like that is what she said. And she kept on talking about the deceptive mind, and she was like, it's your mind wanting to sabotage your life and yourself, right? And I go, that's exactly how it feels. I said, it's like, I wake up, like, I said, you know, a lot of people have this idea that I wake up every day and I'm just like, la da 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 da. Like, no, it is not like that. Like, I have to do a lot of work in the morning. I would say out of the 7 days of the week, brunch day, Sunday, waking up with Alex, I don't know what it is about waking up with my husband on Sundays and going to brunch. I'm never down. I'm always positive on Sundays when I wake up. Like, always. And so out of the other 6 days, I would say 3 I'm pretty positive and 3 I'm pretty down. And I wake up and I don't know what it's about. I can't put my finger on it. It's not like, oh, I miss my mom, or oh, it's none of that, right? It's just, I wake up and I'm just a 3 out of 10. And I have to sit down and I have to do my meditations and I have to do my prayers and my gratitude, get some coffee, and I have to kind of watch the dogs jumping around in the yard. I mean, one of the reasons why I talk about the dogs in the yard so much is because that is something for me that really cheers me up. You know, being outside, looking, I don't love being in nature, like hiking and that kind of stuff, but being part of the earth, part of the world, makes me feel like I look up and I'm like, okay, I'm part of this world, you know, like, and, but it takes me some work. It takes me, you know, sometimes 45 minutes to an hour and a half to kind of get going to where I'm like, you know, feeling good about myself and good about the day. And she's like, Peter, I don't know why you're beating yourself up about that. She's like, this is just so normal. And I was like, but isn't it a lack of gratitude, you know? And she was like, no, it's a deceptive mind. And so she was telling me about this Wayne Dyer book that she listened to. She said the whole thing is on Audible, is on YouTube. I was like, girl, no, you shouldn't be listening to books on YouTube. She was like, why not? It's free. I go, that's exactly why. She started laughing. She was like, listen. She was like, I saw it on there. Somebody recommended it to me. So I, you know, whatever. So anyway, it's Wayne Dyer's book and it's called Erroneous Zones. And I said, why did you start listening to it? She goes, well, I didn't know. I thought it was going to teach me. She's so funny. She was like, I thought it was going to teach me something about how to be, I don't know, sexier or something. And I go, so it wasn't about erroneous zones? And she goes, no, it wasn't about that at all. And I go, well, what was it about? And she was like, it was about the deceptive mind and how we like trick ourselves and, you know, like how we live one life out of our head and one life in our head and how dangerous it is. And she was telling me some things that she had read in it that were like fantastic. And I said, like, what? And she was like, okay, because we were talking about, she and I have worked really, really hard, you know, since last year on me being responsive, not reactive, right? And because this is the problem. And she said this to me time and time again. She's like, okay, so let's just say if you take the average person that has a little bit of anger over this, a little bit of sadness over this, a little bit of irritability over this, the average person, okay? It's not like they have years and years of pent-up anger and resentment, just the average person that has some anger, a little bit about this, maybe a little bit of rage over this, you know, whatever, okay? And you put it all together inside of them. Let alone, mind you, somebody that might have years and years of that stuff, okay? And because we all have a little bit of, you know, I think, resentment, anger, and bitterness, a certain amount of it. And she said, you know, like he was talking in the book about it's like squeezing an orange. No matter on what day that orange is, no matter on what day you squeeze that orange, I was going to say squozing. What is squozing, Peter Monn? Like, seriously, that is not a word, squozing. Okay, it should be, though. Did you squoze in that orange? But she said, no, this is such a great analogy, because, and this is what I was saying about just passing things on. She was like, I read it in the book. She's like, I just sat and she gardened outside and listened to this book on YouTube and just finished it in a day. So he says in the book, no matter what day you squeeze the orange, you're going to get orange juice. No matter who squeezes the orange, what are you going to get? Orange juice, right? So no matter who or on what day or when you squeeze this orange, what's inside of it is what you're going to get, okay? So if Judy Smith squeezes your orange, she's going to get anger, resentment, and bitterness. If this person, and I thought, oh my God, this is me. Like, this is me 5 years ago. I had all this pent up anger, rage, and bitterness, and, you know, that I had not worked on. And I wasn't responsive at that time. I was reactionary. Little squeeze over here. And I was like, squeeze, and I do not want to be that today. I was like, this makes perfect sense to me. This makes absolute perfect sense to me of who I was in my past. You know, and so she said to me, she said, you know, it really has nothing to do with who's squeezing your orange or on what day. It has to do with working on what's inside of you. Because if you're working on what's inside of you, no matter who squeezes that orange, and no matter if you have love inside of you, and compassion and kindness and forgiveness, and you've worked on that, so you have peace and you're content, you know, contentful inside or contented inside, then what they're going to get when they squeeze that orange is did I just say piss? Is peace and contentment, love and compassion, like those things, right? That's what they're going to get if they squeeze that orange. But if deep inside of you, there's anger and resentment, that's what they're going to get. Well, I've had my orange squeezed at times, as have most of us, and I've had anger and resentment come out. And then I was looking at recently, it's like, I've had my orange squeezed recently, and it hasn't been anger and resentment because I've worked through those things, you know? So she's like, you know, you just need to keep up, you know, every day, and you need to, it's like you reset the clock every day, and when you get up, if it takes you an hour to get started so that you're peaceful and serene and you're thankful and you're grateful for the world that you have, she's like, why do you care if it takes you an hour and a half? It's for you to at least get there. And I go, yeah. I go, that's actually a pretty good point. She's like, some people never get there in a day. If you know what it takes to get you there, you've already got the recipe for getting through that. She's like, and you're only talking about half the week. And I'm like, yeah, that's pretty true, you know? And she's like, I don't know. She's like, Peter, you are one person that you like, she's like, inventory is great. She's like, but you beat yourself up. She was like, I don't get it sometimes. And, so she was like, we're going to work on you forgiving yourself a little bit more for these kinds of things. I think it's a hard journey, you know, like Tanya says to me, you know, she'll say, you know, like, I know you really believe in this being the best version of yourself you can be on a daily basis, but she's like, my God, Peter, nobody's perfect, you know? And I don't think that I'm perfect by any means. Like, I don't ever want to ever come across as saying that. But I'm constantly, and of course, because most of these are, like, personal things, you know, that I've issues of mine that have been going on for 40 years of my life. They're not things that I'm sharing in a vlog every night, right? But, like, I'll talk to Tanya about them or my sponsor, you know, I'll say to Tanya, like, this is this thing, and she'll be like, babe, like, you need to not, like, all the time, constantly, I mean, she's like, you know, you can enjoy life too, and I do, I don't know, she's always like, Tanya's always saying that to me, she's like, you're so hard on yourself. But, you know, I've learned some real valuable lessons in the last couple years. I've learned that, here, I'm going to do what everybody tells me to do. Turn the air really on cold, and then blast it. Is it working? It kind of is. Well, thank you. Kind of. No, not really. It's really fogging that bad. Here, I just turned it to 75. We'll see if that works. I don't know why it's fogging up so much. But, you know, I've learned some valuable lessons in the last year. I've learned it doesn't really matter what somebody else is working on, and I don't even need to know that. I just need to know what I'm working on and stay focused and grounded. I've learned that, God, I hate when it does this. I've learned, did y'all say roll down the windows and then blast it? Is that maybe what you said? I don't know. And I've learned that I need to be in a right state of mind before I make an amends. And I need to go into it not expecting anything from the other person. And I need, you know, I've learned that there is no, I think, perfect ideal for what this world looks like or our lives, which I knew already, you know, but I've learned in the last year that a lot of people are mirrors of myself. So when I see other things, you know, in people, that maybe it's, I need to take a closer look at myself. You know, I think the one of the greatest things I've learned in the last year is that all these lessons that are presented to me are just total opportunities for growth, you know, opportunities, learning opportunities. As my sponsor often says to me, you know, she'll say, this is an opportunity for growth. And I've learned that in the last year. Not an opportunity to show somebody else this is an opportunity for growth. Not for me to sit there and say, well, you know, this is a good opportunity for you to change, right? See? No, like, it's about me being back with myself. And I think that can be lonely at times. And I think that it often can feel like you are alone when you're working on things, but each person is working on their own individual stuff, right? You know? I am much happier, much more content, much more focused, much more less focused on some things, which has been good. It is so hot in here. You know, like, I think being focused is great, but sometimes I think I don't necessarily need to be so focused, right? Like, I don't need to be so driven. Like, one of the things I've learned in the last year is to kind of relax and enjoy my life a little bit, you know? So, it's been a good year. I've learned a lot of lessons in the last year, you know? Hard, but it's been a great couple of years, you know, as far as, like, I mean, I like, in my head, I'm like looking back, and I'm like, well, I lost my aunt and I lost my uncle, and those things were tragic and they were hard, but it brought my cousin and I closer together, and I realized that, you know, I thought, like, after my mom and my aunt and uncle were gone, and I don't know, maybe this will happen if, my dad will live to be 100 and something probably, so, and he's so healthy, but I hope. He probably doesn't. He's probably like, I don't even want to live that long. But, you know, I thought I would feel really, really alone. And there are times that I do. But I have Alex. And I have my, you know, Alex's family, obviously. And I think it made me realize, I don't know, I thought I would be more afraid to die after that or something. Like, I thought, and I do, it's not that I feel afraid to die, it's that I'm not ready for it to be over yet. Like, that's the thing. But then I'm like, I'm 47. Like, when my dad was 47, like, my mom was 47. Like, they were, like, well, my mom got sober at 51, and then, like, she lived, like, her best life, you know? But my dad at 47 was traveling all over the world, having the time. I mean, you know what I mean? It's like, I'm going to have enough time to stress out later in life. I might as well enjoy my life right now. Speaking of which, let's move right into the next subject. Alex and I sat down tonight and went through our... Oh my, we always have to plan things. So we went and we planned our shows for Vegas. We are seeing Cascade. We are seeing Rufus Du Sol. Now, mind you, we were there for 5 nights. We are seeing Ka by Cirque du Soleil, because we've never seen Ka. We are seeing Opium, which is the sister act to Absinthe that we saw last year. And we are seeing Zumanity again, because we saw it the first year that we got together, and we're going to go see it again this year, because we haven't seen it since then. And we're super excited. So that's 7 nights, and then, yeah, we're real excited about that. And we're gonna hang out with Alex's cousin Maya, and then we've been in this huge group text with Fufu and his girlfriend, about us coming out there and how excited they are, and then the hotel that we picked is like 2 minutes from their house, which is great, and so we're gonna get to hang out with them all the time. It's just gonna be really fun. So we've got 2 fun trips coming up, August and September. And yeah. And my sponsor upped my step work. She was like, I think we're gonna do some different kind of work. She was like, I think we're gonna do some continued inventory. And okay, it was at the end. I guess this went a little bit longer than I thought it would. I guess you would never have guessed that. Anyway, my sponsor was like, we're gonna do some different kinds of inventory. She's like, I think you're too hard on yourself, and then she assigned me some readings and some things like that. So anyway, that's good. It's always good. It's like school that kind of never stops, you know, when you keep on like getting to work on yourself. I enjoy it. Especially when you like see something in your life that you didn't realize before, and you're like, God, I didn't know that about myself, you know, and it's something like it should be so obvious. This Laneige hair lip balm is so good. Can I just tell you? It is so delicious. I think I said we're going to be in Vegas 7 nights. We're actually just going to be in Vegas 5 nights. But that's 5 nights perfection for me. And then I wonder, we might go out with Alex's friend one night that he went to college with. Well, we'll have to see. Because if we're going out Friday and Saturday night, I probably won't go out both. Well, so Friday night we're going to see a show. I don't know which show, I can't remember. And then we're going to Cascade or Rufus Du Sol. Whatever night Cascade is, I would love to see Cascade, but I may not go and see Cascade. I may gamble one night, we'll see. like, this is the thing. Last year, Maya and Alex went to go see Cascade. He was so excited because he got to meet her and stuff like that, which is great. But it's like, I don't really care. I mean, they waited in line for like 4 hours. And I'm like, and that was with Maya knowing people, because like Maya's real in the know about all that stuff out there. Oh, somebody said in the vlog, they said that we should go see Marshmallow, because Marshmallow has a residence out there. I love Marshmallow, but I've seen Marshmallow so many times now, which is so weird to me because, well, anyway, I've seen Marshmallow so many times now, like, I don't feel like, I've seen him close up, that I don't feel like I need to see him like, I don't need to go wait in a bar to go see him. He isn't one of my favorites. I like Marshmallow. He's like at the top. I'd say he's probably one of my top 5, 10 DJs favorites, but, you know, it's kind of like when you get older and you ask yourself, like, who would you stay to the very bitter end of hearing in a concert? You know, like Stevie Nicks, Fleetwood Mac, yes, absolutely. You know, Bob Dylan, probably. You know, Willie Nelson, maybe. You know, Britney Spears, probably not. You know, Mariah Carey, probably not. You know what I mean? It's like, no, I wouldn't stay till the very end. You know, it's like, would you pay $500 to go see somebody in the front row? Okay, would you pay $500 to see Stevie Nicks, Fleetwood Mac? Probably. Maybe. $500 is a lot of money, right? Would you pay $500 to see Lady Gaga in the front row? No. No, I love her, but no, I wouldn't. I wouldn't even pay $500 to probably, I might pay $500 to see Madonna in the front row because she's, isn't she like late 60s, early 70s or something like that now? I mean, she's not going to be touring much longer, right? It's crazy to me. Madonna can't be 70. She's got to be in her 60s. But that's crazy to me that Madonna is that old, isn't it? She still looks so good. Get into the groove. I'm going to pull over here and see how old Madonna is in just a second. I had this friend of mine that swore that her name. I had these two friends of mine back in the day. My one friend, like, loves Sade. And my other friend loves Madonna. And my one friend, not the one that loves Sade, but the other one, would tease him about liking Sade. Why? I don't know why. Sade is fantastic. One of the best concerts I have ever seen in my entire life was Sade. It was Ziggy Marley and the Wailers, and they opened for Sade. Okay, first of all, he was amazing. This was so long ago. She stood there, I am not lying to you, long ponytail, stood on a stage, okay? Oh, come on, you stupid thing. I hate when it does this. She stood on a stage with a long ponytail, one microphone, and she sang like one song after another, like Smooth Operator. She was so good. It was so good. And I love Sade anyway. But my friend swore, the one that didn't like her, that her name actually had an R in it and it was Sade. He would, not that there was an R in it or something, but he would call her Sade instead of Sade. He's like, it's not, he would say to my friend, he'd say, it's not even Sade, it's Sade. And my friend would be like, he'd go crazy. He'd be like, I actually know her, I've met her, and he would say, it's Sade. And they would go back and forth, and my other friend loved Madonna, right? What is this little place in here? They have drinks and things? Oh, it's a GNC. I guess those are probably energy drinks. But anyway, my other friend goes, well, if it's Sade, then it's Mardonna. And they would get in this fight about Madonna versus Sade. Madonna age. Do you do this stuff? I do this all the time, look up things. She's 60 years old. She looks good, doesn't she? I think she just has an album out. Cher is 73. Jennifer Lopez is 49. Mariah Carey is 49. Lady Gaga's 33. Celine Dion, My Heart Will Go On, is 51. Britney Spears is 37. Have you seen Britney Spears' man? I was seeing pictures of him on Instagram the other day. Kylie Minogue, God, who talks about her anymore? Anybody? Is 51 years old. Pose reaches peak Madonna, a visual history of the 1980 Blonde Ambition Tour. kind of gotten real weird, don't you think? Like, I mean, I love Madonna, but like she's gotten real weird. I don't even really know what to think of her anymore. I don't know if it really even matters. That's kind of like a Tanya conversation right there. Whenever I see these mattress shops, I always think to myself, okay, Alex and I did that. We got that Lowell mattress deal that we did the unboxing for like 2 years ago. It was like a sponsored video. That mattress is the most comfortable mattress our mattress is the most comfortable mattress I've ever slept on in my entire life. If you're gonna get a new mattress, and this is not a sponsored video, but if you wanna just look up Lowell mattress on YouTube, you can get somebody's discount or my discount. You can look at mine. I don't know if it still works or not. But if you're looking for a new mattress, get a Lowell mattress or one of those foam mattresses. They're not, and people say they're like memory foam. I don't know what that means. Like when on ours, it's like, it doesn't like stay like how your body is. Like I don't know, like it goes back up. You're kind of like, at first it's weird because you're kind of like sleeping on top of it. But, like I remember when it came, I was like, okay, this is truly how I felt. I was like, I don't know that I can support, like I can be okay with this thing, because I was like, you know, it comes in a box and then you take it out and it kind of like slowly goes like this, you know? And I was like, this seems real junky to me. Like this seems really junky. This doesn't seem like a real mattress. This is laughable. Like all of our friends have these super expensive, you know, what do you call it? There's one of the places right up here, the Numbers, the Sleep Number mattress places. You know, they're super, here it is, Sleep Number right here. The super expensive mattresses and all that kind of stuff. And we're gonna have this one that comes out of a box and it, you know, expands. Oh, had I had any idea, let me just tell you, I would have shut my mouth right then. That thing is so comfortable. I swear by the Lowell mattresses. So I'm telling you right now, if you're in the business of looking for a new mattress, get a Lowell mattress. The thing that's great about it too is that, like, I mean, it wasn't cheap. It was expensive. It was like, I think like $1,100 or $1,200 for like a king size. I could be wrong. It could be more like $800. I have no idea. But like if you get somebody's discount, there's like 10 or 15% discount codes on YouTube left and right, and on Instagram. People are doing unboxings all the time. And, so like if it's $1,000, you get 10% off. That's like, or 15% off. That's $150, right? I mean, that's pretty good, I think. And I ain't got my glasses on. I can't do math, but I'm almost positive that 10% of $1,000 is $100. I should be right about that one. But anyway, I'm telling you right now. And then when you move, it's not like you have to move your mattress with you. Okay, you just get a new mattress if you want to, or you don't have to. You can take it with you. Ours is fantastic. I mean, I love it. I absolutely love it. So anyway, yeah. So anyway, well listen, I said I was going to be a short vlog tonight, and I've now gone, I don't know, let's see, 23 is 46, 56. I've gone like almost an hour, I think. So I'm going to get off here so that I can finish my book. Oh, so I'm right, it's late, but I'm going to finish my book tonight and try to start the other one. So, all right, I'm gonna get off here. Like, what do I say at the end? I hope you guys are having an amazing Thursday, unless you have other plans, but don't have other plans. Enjoy your Thursday, enjoy your day, whatever day you're watching this on. I love when I read comments from people, and it's like, they comment as if it's today, but it's a vlog that was from like a year ago. That happens to me all the time, and I love that. So thank you for going back and watching old vlogs. If you get bored today, go back and watch some of my old vlogs. Anyway, have an amazing Thursday. No matter what your plans are, make sure it's an amazing day today, unless you have other plans. And yeah, make the most of it. Life is not a dress rehearsal. And if nobody else has told you this today, I love you. Look in the mirror, tell yourself that every single day. I love you. That's not a mirror, that is. I love you, but I'm gonna look in the camera. I love you. Tell yourself that every day. Believe it inside. And pass it on to somebody else. Let them know how much that you care about them. That's important as well. And I will see you guys tomorrow. I love you. Bye. Love ya. I say that at the end because people think that that's funny when I do that, when I go, love ya. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye. Love ya. I couldn't remember how I did it at the end, and I was like, okay, what do I say at the end? Did I say that right? And I was like, I know I said all of it right. I said the, have a great day today unless you have other plans, a great Thursday. I know I said the part where I say, if nobody else has told you this today, I love you. I love that part. I need to come up with a third part to what I say. And then at the end I always say, and this is because somebody commented on this video, or this part of the video yesterday, and said that they love at the very end when I go, love ya, and I just like throw that out at the very end. And I don't know why I do that. I do it because you guys have noticed it in the past, and it's just something little funny that I do. So anyway, I will see you guys tomorrow. I love ya. Bye. Love ya.